All right. Sounds way better when Matthew McConaughey says it, but that's okay.
You did pretty good. I like that.
I'm sick of announcing each episode with like the number of the episode. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I need a better sign-on, I feel like. I need a cooler sign-on.
You need something that's more Brie, not Matthew McConaughey. You need a Brie sign-on.
A Brie sign-on, I know. Well, first and foremost, happy St. Patrick's Day. This is the St. Patrick's Day episode of Brie Hunter is Fucked.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there is a mutt and a Puerto Rican doing this episode, so there is not a lick of Irish. You know, there is not one...
I was going to ask, you're not Irish at all, right?
No, I am not Irish at all. So, yeah, there's not a lick of Irish genetics in this episode, but that's okay. I am wearing green. It's sort of like a pastel-y green, but I think it works. So,
and also, I think one of our first episodes was around this time, right? Like, I think we had a St. Patrick's Day episode. Am I wrong?
I don't know that we did a St. Patrick's Day episode, but we have been on the podcast for like a year now. It's been a year.
Wow, look at that.
I know. Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've been having fun. I think I obviously drive you a little crazy, so I've probably taken a few months off your life. Apologies for that, but it's okay. Also, to anybody who's watching this, you're going to be able to tell that we're a little bit in transition mode right now because I finally, after 6 months, am back in my apartment in LA, and we haven't quite figured out the new set. So for now, this is what it is. But
yeah, and by the way, the worst week ever to move back to LA, freezing this week.
Oh my God, I know. I was like so excited to get back from Jersey to like the warm LA weather, and I walked out today and I was like, it was like Chicago outside. It was like ridiculous winds. It was cold. I was like, this is not very typical.
But we're glad to have you back.
Thank you so much. So, okay, yeah, so St. Patrick's Day. Again, St. Patrick's Day by the two least Irish people in the world. Here we go.
And I hate St. Patrick's Day. Can I start off by saying that? It's the worst.
You don't like St. Patrick's Day. Go ahead, air your grievances about St. Patrick's Day.
Well, to be fair, I'm not much of a drinker. I don't drink too much. I don't mind drinking, but a whole holiday really revolved. If you're like, kids don't really enjoy St. Patrick's Day. They just enjoy any sort of festivity, but there's nothing going on for them. The kids don't love corned beef and cabbage, so it's really for the adults. And if you're not a drinker, it's pretty lame.
Right. No, that's true. So actually, it's funny because I was just thinking about the whole corned beef and cabbage issue. First of all, corned beef and cabbage is not good. Like, I give your ancestors a break because it's like if all you knew your entire life was the potato, then a dry piece of beef and cabbage would be considered a delicacy. But at this stage of the game, like, are we still going to pretend corned beef and cabbage is good? It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I take a turkey for Thanksgiving any day of the week over corned beef.
Over the corned beef? I know.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really understand, like, the whole corned beef and cabbage thing. So, yeah, I don't get that. And then I will say, though, that as, like, somebody who's on their, as somebody who's well on their way to alcoholism, I do appreciate the drinking aspect of this holiday. And that's probably one of the things I appreciate the most about Irish culture is that they're always looking to tie one on. Obviously, that's like a mutual thing between the Irish and I. I always want to drink. But what else is funny to me is that like I think the way that Italians are with food is how Irish people are with drinking. Like they drink when somebody dies, they drink when somebody's born, they drink, for Jesus, they drink for it's always about the liquor. It's like everything revolves around the liquor. And I, for one, am very much in support of that.
Now, would you consider it to be a sexy holiday? Because some girls do dress up for it. That does happen. Would you consider it to be one of the sexier holidays?
I don't really think, St. Patrick's is like a sexy holiday unless you have chicks walking around with like 4-leaf clovers taped over their areolas. Like, then it would be sexy. But I think in general, not the sexiest holiday, no. I think the sexiest holiday has to be either Halloween, right? That's like an obvious one. Or Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day for singles. because there is no sluttier day than Valentine's Day for singles, right?
Well, for relationships too. I mean, there's definitely going to be romance and sex involved for a relationship.
Right. So
Yeah. So let's take those out of the picture. After that, what is the sexiest holiday? There's not a lot left. There's Easter. There's Christmas. There's St. Patrick's Day. Arbor Day. What is the sexiest holiday after Valentine's Day and Halloween?
I don't know. I would venture to say that Easter is like the least sexy holiday.
Yeah. And I would like to say, if you're not religious, then don't celebrate Easter. It's a lame holiday. What
Right.
does it offer?
Like, there's really nothing sexy about crucifixion unless you're deep into BDSM, and then maybe I can kind of see it. But outside of that, and like for our Jewish brethren, obviously like Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, not a super sexy holiday.
No.
Ramadan.
No, unfortunately. We
you know,
would
not
love
a
to have
sexy
a
holiday.
sexy Yom Kippur, but no.
No. I don't even know. You know two things. One is, have you ever hooked up with an Irish person?
You know what? I've never in my life. No.
Oh my God. Okay, me neither. I thought I would be weird in that because like there's a lot of Irish people, a lot of Irish Americans floating around this country. I've never hooked up with an Irish person.
Well, and we're both from the Northeast, New York and New Jersey, where there's tons of Irish,
Right.
at least Irish descent people. And yeah, both of us have never. Do you find Irish people attractive?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I've seen, yeah. I just, nobody has ever blessed me with their shamrocks, like nobody has ever bestowed that.
Well, right off the top of your head, what is the hottest Irish celebrity you could think of?
Probably, I don't know, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah. I'm looking at the list right now, and he's obviously on top of that list.
Is Billy Connolly Irish?
I'm sure he has Irish descent. Let me search that right now.
I think.
But yeah, he has Irish descent. So
Conor McGregor is hot. Like that's hot to me. He's hot.
yeah. Well, let me list a few here. Liam Neeson. Now a lot of these people aren't from Ireland, but they have Irish descent. So Robert De Niro. I didn't know that. Anna Kendrick. She's very attractive. Do you find her attractive?
Okay, but these are like Irish American people. Like I'm talking about like blue and true, raised in Ireland, having
Sharon Osbourne. I don't think, at least for the woman's side, traditionally an Irish-born woman is that attractive. I could be wrong there.
Oh my God, great! Now we're definitely gonna lose some fans over that one. No, I think there are hot Irish women like
Saoirse Ronan. She's pretty attractive, and she's from Ireland. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, Irish descent, we have Nicole Kidman, Jodie Foster, Janine Garofalo, Donnie Wahlberg, which I'd imagine Mark Wahlberg would also be of Irish descent, Casey Affleck.
Yeah, see, none of these are really no. So
No, yeah. So I'm sorry, Irish people. I don't think you got it going on.
I mean, no, I'm sure that they do. I just like when I think sexy and I think Irish, like Colin Farrell, I think a lot of people would agree with me. And he's got a sex tape,
Bono or Colin Farrell?
Oh no, Bono doesn't have a sex tape. Colin Farrell has a sex tape. Colin Farrell has a sex tape with an African American woman, so also we appreciate the diversity, right?
Absolutely.
There.
Well, I will say, I don't know if you know this actor, Michael Fassbender. As a straight guy, I will say he is very sexy.
Oh, yes. Okay, wait. So this is so weird. It's really bizarre that I have this knowledge, but Michael Fassbender and Liam Neeson both have two of the biggest packages in Hollywood. There's a list online. That's why I know. I don't know from personal experience, but there's a list on Reddit and they're both on it. So maybe the Irish are packing and we just haven't recognized them for that.
Look at that. What about our boy, Mark Hayes? Is he Irish or Scottish?
Mark Hayes, yeah, he's Irish.
He's Irish. He does well with the ladies.
Yes. He always talks about like the sort of like the weird like Catholic guilt that Irish people have that like it to me is like I can't even fathom like Irish.
Oh, here we go. Anne Hathaway, Irish descent. So she's beautiful, of course.
Oh yeah, you like her. I'm not really like a fan, but that's okay.
Really? You resemble her a little bit. So I'm sorry to say that for you.
Okay, no, take that back right now.
She's beautiful. What are you talking about?
I don't resemble Anne Hathaway. Just because I have dark hair and pale skin doesn't mean I resemble Anne Hathaway.
No, you have very similar features. The nose, the face. I would say resemble, yes.
Wholeheartedly disagree. Also, sorry, my nose is itching really badly. I think that means I'm going to get into a fight. Oh my God, speaking of...
Olivia Wilde, she's beautiful.
Okay, yeah, she's hot. But I was going to say, speaking of, I feel like this is probably like a terrible stereotype, although Notre Dame's team is named this, but like the Fighting Irish. Like, see, those are two, it's almost surprising to me. This is a big stereotype. It's surprising to me I'm not Irish because I like to drink. I'm pale. I like to fight, you know?
Yeah, no, if you told me you were Irish, I would believe you.
Are the Irish well-endowed? Like up top?
Oh, with breasts? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure just like anyone else.
It's like, yeah, hit or miss. You never know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't know to be personally, but
also like
yeah.
what's the blessing? It's like may the road rise up to meet you. May the sun something with this. It's the sun and the road.
You've completely lost me.
It's like that blessing. There's a blessing.
I know nothing about the Irish culture, by the way. Zero. I don't even know if St. Patrick's Day has anything to do with Ireland. I mean, everyone says it does, but I feel it's one of those things where you go to Ireland and no one's actually celebrating it.
I don't know. It has there's definitely like a Catholic flair, and the name is Patrick. So I feel like it definitely relates to Ireland. We might not know the specifics of it, but I don't know. Also Irish river dancers. Can we talk about this for a moment?
Yeah, I mean that's always intoxicating to watch. I'm a fan.
Okay, so growing up, my brother and I were obsessed with Michael Flatley. Like literally Michael Flatley, Feet of Flames, watched it on VHS at least 100 times. That is
That's a weird thing to grow up watching.
Is it? Because there were moments of it that were very sensual. In fact, looking back, I feel like that could have been my sexual awakening, is like watching Michael Flatley dance, Irish river dance, all sweaty on stage. That could have been my sexual awakening, honestly.
Now, is it attractive when an American does it?
I mean, who could tell the difference? I have, you know what I mean? Unless you're Irish river dancing with like a flag waving behind you, or like a MAGA hat on, how would I know you were American?
I think growing up, in high school, if a kid were to do Irish, river dancing, they'd be made fun of. And honestly, rightfully so.
You feel like that's you have to be Irish born to river dance. You can't
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. Listeners, viewers, write in the comments what you think.
Right. So in other words, it can't be Hudson river dancing. It has to very specifically be Irish river dancing.
Yes. Or else I'm making fun of you.
Are leprechauns hot? I feel like for me, no, but to some people, maybe. I don't know.
I would say no. Honestly, leprechauns scare me. As a kid, watching those horror movies, they scared me a little bit.
I know. Yeah, the thought of a leprechaun to me is rather creepy. I feel like it should be more of a cautionary tale. In real life, if some little woodland creature came up to you and was oh, I know where there's a pot of gold, you should be suspicious. You shouldn't trust that. You should, right? I'm still thinking about the corned beef and cabbage issue.
It's gross. I do like canned corned beef. Are you a fan? I'm a fan of canned corned beef.
No, I don't want my beef canned. First of all, I like my beef rare, so it can't be in a can because the canned shit is overly cooked, so you don't get botulism. I need my beef rare, so that's another reason why I don't.
Oh no, thank you. I do not like red beef. I'm not a fan.
Okay, yeah. So no, I'm not going to eat canned. What is canned beef? Is it Spam? What is canned beef?
Yeah, canned corned beef. It's like a ground beef version of corned beef, and honestly, it's delicious.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't whatever the Irish people are lacking in the food department. And to be honest, you really are lacking in the food department. However, on the whiskey front, I, for one, am very grateful for your contribution to society. you know.
Well,
That
would
and
you
apparently,
say? I mean, I think this is an obvious answer, but you would say Irish whiskey is the most delicious whiskey.
I think so. I mean, I'm like a Jameson girl. Now I drink proper 12, also Irish from Conor McGregor. So I think Irish, they definitely have like they've cornered the market on the whiskey for sure.
Look at that. All right.
Also, like, you know me, sometimes I have a thing for Redheads. I feel like there's a lot of that coming out of Ireland.
Oh
So,
yeah. I mean, I'd imagine they're the number one producer of Redheads.
well, they've got to be up there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Unlike those redhead Mexicans, that exists.
Oh, see, like that, like I might prefer, like Canelo, the boxer, like that's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah. Louis C.K. He's a
No,
redheaded Mexican. Yeah.
I mean yes, but no, like that's not where when I was thinking of like a hot, sexy redhead, I'm thinking of like Canelo, the boxer, not Louis C.K. Like those are two very different.
Two different people. Yeah.
Yes, no. Yes, there was definitely like a wide variation in the redheaded Mexican gene pool. If we have Canelo on the one hand and we have Louis C.K. on the other hand, so no. What else? What else do we want to talk about?
I read today. They do this a lot. They do it every year, I believe. But this year in Chicago, where it was believed that they weren't going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day because of the virus, the governor surprises the city with green rivers.
I guess that's nice. I don't really understand the point of the Green River, but I guess if it's like, I don't know. I feel like in this country, if you we're at the point where it's like if you suggest that we don't do the Green River, like immediately it's going to be like the radical left doesn't want us to have the Green River, and then it's going to be like a whole thing. So I'm like, whatever they want, a Green River, fine. I don't care.
In New York, you try to get the river not green. That's a bad thing.
That's so true. Yeah, exactly. You're right. The water in the tri-state area is naturally green, so we don't have to dye it. It's totally fine. Yeah.
And also, I'd imagine there's fish in these rivers. It's okay to have green water? I don't know. It seems a little sketchy to me. It's very green. People at home, I'm sure there's going to be a picture on the screen here, but it's very green.
All right. So we actually had some fan questions submitted, which is awesome, from someone named Patrick, which is very apropos, given that I have no idea if he's Irish, but Patrick is an Irish name. So very apropos given today's episode. So one of his questions was, do you listen to ASMR? Which, yes, in fact, I was listening to Bob Ross before it was popular to listen to Bob Ross for ASMR purposes, because the voice of Bob Ross always stimulated me. Wow. That and like his paintbrush tapping, I just was always into it.
Well, and people like to say, what was that? Have you ever got into ASMR porn?
No, you recommended that to me. I probably should try it, but
I'm a fan. It's not an everyday thing, but once in a while, it's surprising. It's pretty wonderful.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, and when you watch as much porn as I do, you definitely need to have like varietals in there. You can't just rely on
you throw on the old headphones. The porn stars even have a gadget that resembles the human ears. And it's pretty cool. Like there's porn stars that only do ASMR porn.
I didn't know that. See, but that's like the thing though, is like I don't even really need ASMR porn. Like the voice of Bob Ross gets me off, period. I don't even need it to be,
Wow.
Yeah. Just him whispering.
Do you get into like the whole gum chewing or hair combing thing?
No, I like when they scratch the microphone though, or like they pretend like they're brushing your hair. That I like. But chewing, like, ew, that actually that sets off like a nervous tick inside of me. So no. But yes, I do listen to ASMR. That was a very long-winded way of saying yes. Another one, again, very apropos. Do you think McGregor's career is over after Poirier, or will he get back on top again? I definitely don't think his career is over. I think I'm just curious to see how strong of a comeback he's going to have. Do I think he'll be on top again? I don't rule it out, like if anything. But I don't know. We don't even know who he's fighting next. I just realized. We don't even know.
Well, as a non-fan of UFC, so don't listen to me, Patrick. But just as a non-fan, as a bystander, I think it's over. I think he comes back one or two more fights and headed to the WWE. That's what I think.
Maybe I don't know. I don't think his career is over. I just do I think he'll ever be on top again? I've learned never to rule anything out, especially in that sport. But I don't know. That's such a hard one for me to answer. I think he's like, some people are like, oh, he's not as hungry as he once was. To me, that's the most likely thing. Is he's got such a great life right now, and can you blame him? Like, if you're sailing around on yachts and you're like living it up and you just had kids, like, would you really want to go get like your skull bashed in for a living? Probably
No,
not.
and why would you? You know,
Right.
so that's why I think he's going to sign a contract with the old WWE, or maybe start a movie career. Who knows?
Right. Also, I like soft McGregor. Like, a lot of the fans are like, oh, like, you know, we miss like the old like assholey McGregor. I kind of like Family Guy Conor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, just
That's
like
me.
professional wrestling, there's the heel Rock, the Rock that's angry and mean to people, and then there's the nice Rock.
Right, who now has children. See, that's always the thing. I hate to make it vulgar, but it's like once you drain your ball bag and procreate, it's like you get a little softer in life, which isn't the worst thing. Not the worst thing. Last but not least, he said, "Are you vegan?" Okay, so I am what I would consider half a vegan, and it's, to be totally honest, it's not even out of respect for the animals. It's just because I have like the stomach issues of like an 85-year-old. So, you know me, Al. I've gone back and forth. Sometimes I eat meat.
Yeah, like you're saying though, you would eat meat. You like meat. You have stomach issues.
Right. Which is so devastating. So sometimes I do eat vegan, again, just out of necessity, so my stomach doesn't implode, so my intestines don't just just walk out of my body. But I'm not vegan by choice. I'm like a hostage vegan, basically. So that was also he asked like a very like wide array of questions, and none of them were sexual, which it would be fine if they were, but I was like almost like happily surprised that they weren't.
Yeah, he just wants to know more about you, and that's fine. And people at home, if you want to ask Bree more questions, email us at what is it, BHIF pod at gmail.com.
Yes, for God's sakes, Al. It's BHIFpod at gmail.com.
We'll have it at the bottom of the screen.
We will have it at the bottom of the screen. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up the big St. Patrick's Day episode? If
you are celebrating St. Patrick's Day out there, be safe. And also realize that it's not that great of a holiday, but have fun.
I beg to differ. I think that any excuse to drink is a great holiday. So either way, I also say have fun responsibly, because we are still in the middle of COVID. So like enjoy your whiskey and your corned beef cabbage at a safe distance if you can. But yeah, I think that and maybe I will hook up with an Irish person sometime between now and the end of the year. I will keep everybody posted on that. But yeah, until next time, guys, the twins and I now love you, and we wish you a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Whoa!